Greetings, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another Christmas countdown video where your present is my presents every single day. I hope that you aren't sick of me yet. We all know that I spend an ungodly amount of time on Twitter, right? That's just a known fact. And one of my favorite accounts is an account called Hot Masculine Takes. And basically what they do is they find like alpha male tweets and just repost them. And it's just so funny. It's so entertaining. I love laughing at it. And I wanted to share some of that laughter with you by going through and finding some of my favorite tweets from the past few weeks. So that's what we're going to do today. But before we get into it, I would like to take a moment to thank today's patron of the day, Josh. Thank you for all of your support over all of this time. I appreciate you massively, and I hope that you enjoy this video. If you would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. So we'll start off with this tweet by a guy called Bug. As a father of daughters, I'm already training them to expect my judgment on courtship and marriage. What? Who says courtship? No one says courtship, bro. What year is it? Before betrothal, I'll vet their suitor rigorously. His position on education, his position on mothers working, his position on natural law in regard to the marriage debt. How old are your daughters? 5, 3, 1, 0. See, now, like, I want to say that that's a joke. I want to say that he must be kidding, because who the fuck talks like that? Okay, no, he was being serious. Okay, I've searched him up. Great. So, no, he isn't kidding. That is a serious thing that he said, and he just, why is he speaking like that? 5, 3, 1, and 0, and you're already talking about, like, marrying them off and meeting their potential betrothed? Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Leave them alone. Let them be kids. Who is it that's always saying that we're sexualizing children and forcing our lifestyles and sexuality upon them? Because, like, again, time and time over, we are shown that it is the cishets who do nothing but force relationships upon children for no goddamn fucking reason. Let them be kids. Just a reminder that No Nut November isn't real. You can nut whenever you want. I just masturbated and it was great. No one can stop me. No Nut November isn't about depriving yourself of pleasure. It's about showcasing your warrior spirit. Everyone has an internal war. The human mind versus the animal body. Show your body that you are king, that you are not a slave to your desires. Embrace No Nut November. That's so funny. I, like, genuinely didn't know that No Nut November was, like, a real thing that people actually did. I thought it was all one big collective joke. And every year, the line has gotten slightly more and more blurred as I genuinely can't tell if people are kidding or not. And finding out that there are people who are dead serious about it is, like, so baffling. Like, I remember seeing, like, OnlyFans workers saying that, like, during November, their amount of subscriptions, like, dropped. And I'm like, so it is a real thing. So it's not just one big internet meme. It's a real actual thing that people do. That's so fucking weird. Why? I thought everyone was kidding. I genuinely thought it was a joke. I now question every person I see talking about it as like, but are you being serious though? Because, like, I thought everyone was joking. I've looked at every single tweet I've ever seen about it as a joke, and finding out that it's not always a joke has, like, genuinely baffled me. I love the human mind versus animal body thing. Show your body that you are king. Your body and your mind is the same thing. Your mind controls your body. You are your brain. You are your brain just controlling a bag of bones and flesh and shit. You are your brain. You're not a slave to your desires, but also by forcing yourself to not act upon them is being a slave to your desires, because you're, like, letting them dictate your decisions, you know? Like, it feels more powerful to, like, sometimes do it and sometimes not. rather than having your entire month be like, I must resist. That's letting them dictate you. They have control over you because you're thinking about them all the time. So, just saying, No Nut November is silly, and I did not think it was real. Shocking! The Liver King was on steroids. Leaked emails show that Liver King was taking almost $12,000 worth of pharmaceutical HGH per month, 3 injections per day, all while promoting his brand of holistic lifestyle, ancestral tenets, and eating raw meat on camera. $12,000 a month of but like, no shit. No shit. You don't look like this from eating nothing but raw meat. I love when people talk about like the caveman diet and going back to your roots and eating meat. We're not carnivores. The human diet has always mostly consisted of plants. We have way more molars than we do canines. Meat has never been a large part of the human diet. It was not a like majority of your food. Most food you ate was not meat. It was not a staple. It was not something you had at every single meal. It was more of a like a luxury. Even back in the caveman days, whatever, it's way easier to like, I don't know, find berries and fruit and vegetable and stuff like that, right? And like, they also still cooked stuff. They made fires. People have cooked stuff for a long time. And at no point in human history have we ever been carnivores. We come from like apes, right? Like our closest relative is what? Like the chimpanzee. And they eat meat. They are omnivores, but very irregularly. It is not a core part of their diet. It is not the most important part of their diet. And the same can be said for people. This whole thing of eating meat at every single meal and it being like a daily thing. You have meat at dinner that is a new thing. That is not a thing. That's not a thing that's been around for as long as people like to pretend that it has been. Humans have never been large meat eaters. That's a new thing. I don't know why people like to think that humans are carnivores for some reason. We are mostly herbivores. And that is why it has been proven to be healthier to be vegan than to be an average meat eater. Because the average meat eater eats way more meat than what we are meant to. Because humans are not designed to consume as much meat as fucking people have decided we are. Anyway, straight men 300 years ago. Wig, makeup, robes, stockings, high heels. Straight men today. New research suggests that some men avoid green behavior, like using a reusable shopping bag at the grocery store, because they don't want to be perceived as gay. Fellas, is it gay to care about the planet that you live on? Oh my god, dude, what the fuck, bro? That's so funny. That's so funny. Like, I will never understand what the problem with being perceived as gay is. That's just such a silly thing to worry about. And also, what? How? Why? It's such a self-tell that for some reason men think like caring about things makes them gay or feminine. Like, why would caring about things make you gay or feminine? You know, because that's largely what it means, is like anything that's perceived as gay is just something that a woman does. Why is that a bad thing? Why is caring about things something that is reserved exclusively for gay men and women? I'm gonna need you to explain that one, actually, because you live on this planet too. Don't make my life worse because you don't want people to make assumptions about you that they're not even going to make just because you're insecure for no reason. Why do you care what some random person thinks your sexuality is? How does that impact you in any way at all? It like impacts no one. Move on. People are gonna think all sorts of shit about all sorts of things. Don't worry about it. Why do you care so much about what men think of you? That seems pretty sus. If you ask me, you're caring a little bit too much what people think. So, anyway, use reusable bags, please. Do you take the time to examine your son's genitals? Do you teach him how to take a bath like a man? Have you taught him how to urinate like a man? Does he have testicles? Have you checked? Does he erect? Some fathers don't bother. They leave everything to the mother. Why does this have 7,500 likes? I have so many questions. Starting with, how old is your son? Like, what age are we talking about here? Are we talking about like an infant, a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a teenager, like an adult? What age is your son when we're talking about this? All ages are weird, right? They're all weird. I'm going to have to assume you mean like young child. What's bathing like a man? Can someone please, everyone leave your guesses in the comments what bathing like a man means? Because like I cannot even come up with an idea. I don't have a clue what bathing like a man could possibly mean. Have you taught him to urinate like a man? I'm assuming he means just like standing, right? Does he erect? Why do we need to check that one? How are we checking that one? Why? How? No. Some fathers don't bother. They leave everything to the mother. I don't think mothers are checking if their son's erect, nor are they teaching them to bathe like men or like inspecting their genitals. I mean, I guess they would inspect their genitals for like medical purposes, but like this doesn't feel like it doesn't have medical vibes. It's all right. I don't eat ice cream. It's something to do with being straight. Ice cream is a bit, but a grown man eating ice cream, it's that way rather than that way. Fellas, is it gay to enjoy a frozen dessert? What could possibly be viewed as gay about eating ice cream? Like what about it? I don't know. That doesn't make sense. You can't enjoy things, apparently. Straight men can't enjoy things. They're not allowed to. It's against the rules. If you enjoy things, you're gay. You like sweet things, you're gay. You want to save the planet, you're gay. I'm sorry. You can't enjoy things, you can't do anything. That's just the rule. And being gay is bad also. You can't actually just choose to do... I just don't understand. I don't understand. When a woman is truly in love with a man, she will forget all sense of responsibility or duty to anybody else. She will break all sorts of barriers just to spend more time with her man. Most women won't admit this. All right, I'm going to end it on this one because I have something to say with this one. Is that like, no. That is not healthy. That is not a thing. Most women won't admit this because this is not a healthy thing to admit. A lot of women will do this, sure, but that is not from a like healthy place, It's things like this and posts like this that I saw all the time when I was younger that validated me in staying in my abusive relationship, There's so many things that like make your situation seem normal, and it was used against me and it kept me there for way longer than I should have been there because I was made to think that it was normal, Like, I didn't want to drop everything to do things for this person, but I was told that if I was really in love, if I really loved him, then I would do that, And so it's like, these things are teaching men that if she doesn't drop everything and do everything for you, she doesn't love you. So they tell that to you, and also you see that, so then you're in a position that you think, oh, if I really love him, I have to do this to prove it. It's not good, not helpful. Don't say shit like this. And I know that this is coming from an abuser anyway, so me saying this isn't going to help, but in general, you see it so much in the media, on social media, etc., of just like really small things that just validate really toxic and awful relationships. There is just so much of like, a real woman will stick with you through anything. They'll never leave your side. If they truly love you, they'll do everything for you and stuff like that. And it really does just keep you in bad situations because you think that that's, what love is and what you're meant to do. And when you are younger and you've never experienced love before, you don't really have anything to base it off of either. That's all you kind of have as the references you have in the media. And so much of that is so unhealthy. So I'm just using this as a little moment and a little message here to say it is not only normal, but very important for you to set boundaries. It is okay to say no, and saying no does not mean you don't love someone. Setting boundaries and following those boundaries is extremely important, and it doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you love that person any less. However, if a person doesn't respect your boundaries, that means they don't love you as much as they are telling you they do. If someone doesn't respect your boundaries and they don't respect your no and what you are comfortable with, that is them taking advantage of you, not the other way around, okay? Just know that it's very important, and it's something that like I'm still working on myself, and it's something that is really hard to do. Boundaries are difficult to set sometimes, especially when you have trauma and stuff, and I know that, and I just hope you know that boundaries are important. You aren't selfish for setting them, and if someone doesn't respect your boundaries, they don't deserve you, and you deserve better. Anyway, I end my videos like this a lot, don't I? I hope that you have enjoyed the video. I talked about things for so long. I keep doing this. A massive thank you to my Sprout and above patrons whose names are up on the screen right now, and a huge thank you to my Kiwi cat patrons. Wolf, Toulouse, Bobby, Josh, Mandy, Robbie, Ikazel, Jessica, Eldo, Ida, Queer Corey, Corey Go Lightly, Mick McKenna, Anna, Raven, Cosmic Octopus, and Danielle. I love and appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a patron, you go to patreon.com/savvycat or click the top link in the description. For as little as £1 a month, you get my videos a day early, as well as the podcast a week early. And then for £3 and up, you get things such as outtakes, vlogs, live streams, etc. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.